Alright, so this is just another continuation of a long process in rebuilding this motor. This motor is a 1998 Indy Ultra. We have the sled over there. So we've done the case, everything's sealed up, we got the crank in there, everything's good. I rebuilt the water pump, got that all back together, and now as well did the oil pump. So now we're just going to put the oil pump into the motor, and I'm going to explain that process. So you'll have the actual drive shaft here, which goes into the side of the motor here, slips in, and this is what connects into the gear on the crankshaft, and it will run along and spin that, and that's what drives your pump. Now on this piece here, there'll be a washer on the end here that sits flat down in on the case. There's a little, take this collar off there, as you can see, there's a little spacer in between there as well. So we're going to replace that spacer. Now as you can see, the spacer, I don't know if you guys can in the camera, but this side it's beveled on one side, and on one side it's flat. Nice and flat on that side, nice and beveled on this side. What you're going to do, like anything, you take it off slow, okay? There's no wash or anything off there. Okay, now we're going to watch this, see which way it comes off. Now, looking at it, put this drive down for a second. Feel it. That's beveled. That side's smooth. So it came off where the beveled side is towards the drive, and the smooth is on the back where this sits. So we're going to remember that. We're going to replace it how it came off. So take that off, take the new one, dab a little bit of oil on it, oil everything up, just so when we're doing everything, and you know, after I get the pump in there, I'm going to make sure that it's all good. You know, it's not grinding flat and dry gears on dry gears. Got a little coat, a little bit, dab my gears a little bit right there. Not too much, you don't have to soak it. Just, you know, make everything nice and smooth, which slides in there. Just a little bit, finger dab. Okay. Okay. Now what I talked about, there will be a washer on here. Now this is, I just installed it first because I don't like to put it on here, because if you do and you get it in, it could fall off and go into the bottom end of the motor, and then you got to pull everything apart. So I'm just going to put that down for a second, right there. I'm going to take the camera to show you guys what I mean. Oops. So that's where the actual pump sits in there. Now if you look down there, I don't know if you can see, but there's a washer that sits flat down in there. You put that washer down in there, and then you put the rest of the drive down in there, and that little piece right there will stick into that other side. Now what I recommend for putting that in is getting a magnet tool like that, and then you can put the washer on the end of it, so you don't put it on a screwdriver or something that slips down and goes under your crank, and you gotta pull the case out, and then you can set it down in there nice and flat, take another tool that's not magnetic, and then push it off and make sure it sits there, and then you can put the rest of your pump in and put the drive unit in. So I'm gonna do that in a second, just get everything ready, and we'll get that for you guys.